How's the royal family? I pray that everyone is doing well. Well, my royal family, the question I would like to ask the royal family, do you know who the Secretary of Education is? Her name is Betsy DeVos. And let me read some things about her. Betsy DeVos has never attended public school, sent her kids to public school, worked in public school. She does not have an educational degree and has never taught. So Trump picked a billionaire who doesn't believe in public education to be in charge of education. Let the privatization, and profiteering begin. Okay, this one's gonna be deep. First and foremost, my royal family, I have a video here that I'm going to put in the link because I cannot play it because it's blocked worldwide. But the link is there, and please watch it. Some people may have missed it. It's about a 13-minute interview with her, a recent interview on 60 Minutes. It's a very, very important video. And I've heard about this woman and about her. Ooh, it's a lot about her. She's something else. But anyway, I don't want to spoil and give up the goods on what the 60-minute video is about. But what I will play, my royal family, is the exchange that she had yesterday with Barbara Lee. It is literally pathetic.
Respond to Dr. Harris and clarify one thing on school discipline. The issue is the differing of punishment by race for the same type of infraction. The disparity there as it relates to suspensions and expulsions. For the same fraction, black and brown students are disciplined and expelled at a much higher rate. That's what you call racial bias and racism. Madam Secretary, let me ask you, because I'm not so sure you really are clear about racial bias and what this all means. First of all, you're officially seeking to delay by 2 years an Obama rule aimed at combating disproportionate numbers of minority students in special ed classes. That's according to the Federal Register notice published on Tuesday. Secondly, you said you wanted all students, including students of color, to learn in safe environments. We all want that. Yet students of color are subjected to harsher punishments and disciplines. Should the president's view prevail in arming teachers, do you see why black and brown students are really worried and anxious about this? Very clear to me. And also, let me just ask you, as it relates your comments, as it relates to considering the elimination of the discipline guidance. Actually, this is a report in the wake of the tragic shootings in Florida. The White House released this report, School Safety Proposals, which imply really that black and brown students are responsible for mass shootings in schools, which is just not the case. This directive was really to ensure that students of color are not subject to the harsher disciplines and so now and practices. And now you're talking about possibly eliminating this based on the tragedy of gun violence in Florida. So can you comment on that, please? And if that's really what you're thinking about doing?
Thank you, Congressman. That particular piece of guidance has been under review per the executive order to review all regulation within the department. And this is a matter we take very seriously. Clearly, the goal is, the stated goal of the guidance is one that we all embrace to ensure that no child is discriminated against. And we are committed to reviewing and considering this guidance and taking appropriate steps if any are warranted. But I have nothing further to say at this point with regard to where that is.
Well, how about, let's go to the delay of the regulation requiring a strategy to combat disproportionate numbers of minority students in special ed classes. Why the 2-year delay on that?
The delay is to ensure that we have a regulation that really does meet the needs of students that are disabled in any way.
By 2
We are
years, though?
committed-
Why would you do
We are
that?
committed to upholding the provisions of IDEA, and I want to be very clear that we're addressing this issue appropriately. There have been varying opinions and very different approaches to this within the community that are most concerned about this. We want to ensure that we end up with a regulation that does address these issues appropriately.
Another example of the fact that I think that more and more every day that your head is in the sand about racial bias and racial discrimination. I wrote you a letter June 2017 concerned about school segregation and what this means in terms of addressing the adverse effects of segregation on minority students to ensure that every student has an opportunity for an equal education. You never answered that letter nor that question. I'd like for you to please respond to that.
I'm sorry if we have not yet responded to it. We are still waiting to actually have Senate-confirmed nominees become a part of the department, and would urge that this body encourage your fellow members of Congress.
Madam Secretary, you just don't care much about civil rights of black and brown children. This is horrible.
Gentlelady's time's expired. I really am trying to make sure everybody gets a second round here. So with that, we'll go to my good friend from Maryland, Mr. Harris.
Thank you. And I guess that's the reason why I support Opportunity Scholarships, because you just don't support minority students in the District of Columbia. I guess that's right. Again, I've been called racist. You know, I guess that's the favorite thing to do to anyone who you disagree with, and it's shameful, to be honest with you.
All right, my royal family. So you got a flavor of what's going down. Let me go back over here, because I want to put a spotlight on this. When I watched the video, I'll pretty much say this, my royal family. What Trump and them are doing is, in regards of public education, is very, very dangerous. And what the royal family need to continue to do, if possible, is to remove our royals from these public schools, because they are definitely in danger. I have been saying this in many. And then on top of that, they also have to worry about their being physically harmed too as well. And we are getting a clearer and clearer picture. It is also a pipeline to prison, because all we're doing is gift wrapping our royals and literally sending them to the enemy. And we have to be mindful and very, very careful about what we are doing, because this country is not committed to investing in any children. And that's a grave mistake, because they're going to have a deep resentment, and they're going to say, y'all didn't give a damn about us. Y'all didn't care about our immediate situation. And as we are in our golden years, they're going to remember that shit. And these are the ones that are going to be the movers and the shakers and changing policies and stuff, and no telling what they may do in this system, because they didn't feel value. So that's the system. But as far as the royal family is concerned, we have to redirect our children. We have to rebuild our village. The parents must be a big part of the curriculum, so they know what their royal babies are learning. And then they also need to know about the system too. Homeschooling doesn't mean not for them to educate them about the system, but the truth about the system, because the system will have you to believe that they care about your immediate situation, and they don't. And you can see they don't care about no one. It goes deeper than that. We already know they don't care about us, but they don't care about no one. So Trump and them feel comfortable to pick this woman. She's a billionaire. Her husband is a billionaire, and they vastly concerned about America's education. No way. They're going to find a way to try to profit off of it, and trying to cut back like they always do. It's always about money with them. And not investing in our future. So anyway, my royal family, I have rendered my voice on this. The link will be there. Please watch the video first, then render your voice, and we can go much deeper, because I already know what it said. I've watched it twice. So anyway, my royal family, as always, I thank you for your love. I thank you for your support. And with that said, Ashe. Amen to the Royal Father.